And now, it's time for another Dice Tower review with the Game Boy Geek.
Hello my friends, it's the Game Boy Geek here. Today we're going to check out a party game from R&R Games called Plucking Pairs, where you are trying to predict the most popular pairs out on the board of different pictures. It's very interesting. It's from 3 to 8 players, plays in about 30 minutes. So let's check it out, show you the different things that you're plucking, show you how the scoring works, and I'll give you my final thoughts. In Plucking Pairs, you essentially put out 11 cards, and once everybody's ready, you flip the 90-second timer, and everybody is trying to pair up 5 of the pairs, and then there'll be 1 left over. And what you're trying to do is figure out which ones go together for your own reasoning. So for example, you'll look at all these and you'll try to pair them up, and what makes some of them might be very obvious, some of them might be a stretch, some of them might be very interesting. For example, we have a basketball net and a barber's pole. Normally these two things don't have anything in common, but if you see, this is red, white, and blue, and the net is red, white, and blue. So I might go here and say barber pole and the net, okay? I could have also maybe done it even with the balloons. So maybe the bee and the astronaut there, maybe this looks kind of like a beekeeper suit. So I might say the bee and the helmet guy. All right, so then I know those two things are done. Maybe I think of the bell and the old statue, because I think both of those things are synonymous with old history. So I have old bell and statue. And let's say I see Band-Aids and balloons, because wherever there's balloons, there's kids, and whenever there's kids, there's Band-Aids. So I'll do balloons, Band-Aids, and so I'm left with pretty much a barrel, a clock, and books. And maybe I just say a barrel and the clock, because they're both wood, and my bad apple are the books. So what happens is, after everyone's done, the round stops. I got done actually right before the timer ended. One person starts off and starts with their pair 1, and they say their pair, and they can, if they want, tell them why. That's usually the funnest part of the game, is listening to people's reasoning as to why they picked something. So they'll pick something. Anybody else that also has that raises their hand. For every person that raises their hand, each person in that case would get 1 point. And also, if everybody raised their hands, they would get 0 points. So if your answer is super obvious, so obvious that everybody gets it, nobody gets a point, and you get a point. Everyone that had that got a point. So that's pretty much how you do it. You take that all the way through. And if, again, bee and helmet, if anybody else had that, at least one person, I'll get a point. Every person that had that would get a point, unless everybody had it. Nobody would get points. And at the end of the 6, we'll play this for 6 rounds. At the end of the 6th round, the person with the most points is the winner. At the end of each round, you simply flip these over, because they're double-sided. Makes it for quick and easy transforms as you would set up the next board. And here you can see some of the other types of cards that are here. There you go. There's some different cards, and then the second round would go. Once that's over, you would put those back in the box and get new ones. We got some time here. I'm going to show you some of the other different, just flip through some cards that you can look through really quickly just to see how different some of these are. They're really all over the place, of all different things, shapes, sizes, colors. You know, some of them are people, some of them are actions, some of them are things you'll see every day, some of them are things you eat. And it's just lots of different things that you would put and look at. All right, well, there's Plucking Pairs. So for a short party game, I think it's an okay game. It didn't blow my socks off. I know this is a very popular game amongst friends, amongst the Dice Tower. It didn't really strike me, and I do like party games. So let's talk about what I liked. What I did like is it was interesting. And really the best part about this game is when people are explaining their answers, and you might even have selected the same pair, but you both selected it for 2 completely different reasons. That's always a good thing, and it erupts laughter. The other thing is when someone picks something off the wall and they say why, and it just makes no sense to anybody else but them, and they're like, oh, this is obvious why this goes together, and everyone's like, no, it's not, you're crazy. That's also, those are usually the most fun experiences with this game that I felt. I didn't hate the game, and I liked it, I just didn't love it. For me, it was a pretty good, okay party game. I might not turn down a game, but it's not going to be one of the first ones I suggest. The scoring aspect, I didn't like it that much. I felt that too many times when we played, everybody had the same pair, but it wasn't like one of those ones that was just like blatantly obvious, but everyone just happened to have picked it, and nobody scored points, and people are like, oh, you know, it was kind of like, I felt like we were being penalized, and I know why they do it, because they don't want everyone just to always pick all the most obvious ones, but the pictures are so different that there's really, for me, there wasn't ever ones that were super obvious. So I didn't like the scoring, but again, hey, it's a party game, does scoring really matter? It's a minor gripe, because the scoring really shouldn't matter. If it's a good party game, whoever wins and the score should never matter. It's always about the experience. And this does deliver an interesting experience. It's something new. So many of you will like it. Most of the people I played this liked it better than I did. So I might be an outlier saying it was just lukewarm. It was okay for me. But a lot of people that are around me liked it. So if you like party games and this looks interesting to you, you might want to check out Pluckin Pairs from R&R Games.
Thanks so much for watching the Dice Tower videos. Find more great videos and reviews, as well as our top-rated audio podcast at Dicetower.com. You can also find other great shows at Dicetowernetwork.com. I'm Eric Summerer, and you've been watching The Dice Tower. The Dice Tower is sponsored by Cool Stuff Inc., where you can find great games for great prices. Cool stuff in stock. Check them out at CoolStuffInc.com.